Okay, so I'm a bit more stony now. Not laughy stony. Um, Getting close to the dark analysis stuff. And I have a stoner theory on that. And that maybe my brain is making me depressed to actually cause tears to come out from my eyes and relieve some of that fucking pressure that's on my eyeballs. Because when I do cry from that, sometimes it's from laughter, sometimes it's from depression. I get this really oily tear, a few of them, out of each eye maybe, and then it goes away. I'm like, I don't have to be depressed. Why am I crying? But my eyes feel so much better after doing that. Now, maybe it's just tears and that's the way you relieve some of that pressure, but I've thought as crazy enough as it might be spinal fluid or whatever the goo that's inside your eyeball is releasing that pressure. And now I'm starting to babble again, so I might go back and forth between this stage and either the last one or the next one. It takes a while before I get to the, I gotta start writing this shit down. Because the ideas come and they don't stick around. Sometimes I can write them down, sometimes they're pretty good. Other times I look at them later, I'm like, no, I don't understand that. And maybe I do understand it again when I medicate it again. So that's a weird phenomena that I understand is associated with cannabis. Anyways, that's my report. Okay, I'm comfortable enough to go outside apparently, because I went to go check to see if my CPAP got here yet, and it didn't. Sometimes I just gotta breathe like that. It helps. I don't know. I was gonna say something when I put the camera on, so I'm getting into that forgetful phase where things go wispy. And most of it is stupid shit like whatever I was gonna put on here. Some of it's good important shit. Some of it's bad stuff I would rather went wispy. I can't forget the history of my pain, but I don't have to dwell on it. And that can go straight to the whiskey bottle. That's opposed to the anger bottle and the joy bottle. The anger bottle being the one that everyone always uses and bottles up their anger and lets it explode every now and then. Kind of an unhealthy pattern, but it's a pattern. People do it. And the good bottle, we gotta realize that we have a good bottle. And when you enjoy something, you don't have to enjoy it all immediately. Sometimes that's even overwhelming. So put it in your good bottle and remember it. All these bottles, I guess, are kind of versions of your memory, or my memory. So try to put some shit in your good bottle, and if you can remember when you're down in the dumps that you have a good bottle, you might be able to remember some of the stories in that good bottle, and you can re-enjoy them instead of completely suffering from the pain. And that is a part of separating yourself from the pain, having something else to focus on. And you can push that pain away sometimes, not completely, and you can't forget about it. but the medication gets me to that level. And now I'm feeling a little bit of the depression side again. It seems like my eyes want to cry. And I have felt that way before, that they want to cry, but I don't have a reason to cry for. I mean, aside from the fucking pain. But I've felt that way before, even before the tumor process, which was well before the cannabis. So now I'm going to drone on too long, so I gotta stop. Okay, I remembered what I wanted to say. It was the difference between this plant that I've been using for almost a year now. It was showing signs of being male, so they ripped it out so it wouldn't affect the rest of the plants. So I got it cheap, and because they were not comfortable selling it to whoever they were going to sell it to, with it being low THC. And I don't really give a shit about that. And I'm thinking that the big difference between the THC being high and low, because I've been pretty medicated with a high THC, and it's not like this. It is way more stony. It's not unpleasant at all, but it's more laughing. You know, imagery of cartoons and, you know, orchestra music and whatever, and then them being stoned. Those are some pretty fun trips, but it's not like that quite so bad with the low THC, the high CBD. I'm assuming. I don't know if I want to bother getting what I have tested. I don't know what they need to do the test, and frankly, I don't care, but it might be scientifically relevant, so therefore I do care. So there's a little struggle with that. That's what I wanted to say earlier when I turned it on and forgot. So sometimes things that go in the whiskey bottle can come back out. Okay, so now I'm ranting on video and a little bit on Facebook, and then I should probably open up my journal. But I don't think the journal is efficient enough. The thoughts are too quick. They get wispy too quick. So I'm going to try to keep this camera within arm's reach for a while. See if I can think of anything. So let's not waste all this film. Okay, I also want to point out that it doesn't make everything better, but it does make good things better, like good music. I'm trying to watch this stupid stoner movie. I forget what it's called, something about space weed or some shit, and it is not more enjoyable. It is really pathetic and stupid, but I'm okay with that. So it maybe makes me more passive about things that annoy me, like the pain. Alright, bye-bye. Hey, oh. No light. Hang on. How's that? There's more light. Okay. It's good to have friends. Just got a call, and I'm happier. So, just telling the tales of what it means to be a tow truck driver that occasionally does police scenes. So, interesting. It's good to have friends. Okay, for some reason, I'm thinking about not having had any children. which was kind of my plan all along. But it mattered a lot more to me that I would not pass this on to anyone else, especially my own child. I knew enough about science and biology that these things can happen. And Julie is living my worst nightmare. Her daughter has it. Her only daughter, her only child that made it, has it. And I need to do things like this to support her and to support myself. Sometimes breathing helps. Trying to be aware of my heart rate too. I don't know why, but I might be having high blood pressure when I'm this medicated, or high heart rate or something. I don't feel threatened by it. Sometimes it almost feels like, hey, you know, like I just had a good workout or something. But I really shouldn't feel like that if I'm just sitting here. I've had my heart checked. I've had my blood analyzed. I've had all sorts of different tests. The last few were on my hearing, and they don't want to do anything with that I'm willing to let them do, which is charge me up the ass. Now we're working on this sleep thing, and, you know, I gotta wait 2 more days for it before I can sleep again. And I'm sure I've bitched about this before. I do it all the time in my typing journal, where I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've bitched about this before. Sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. That's that wispy jar thing. Sometimes it comes back to you and you don't really remember that you had that thought before. Which is probably, I don't think I've had that thought prior to being medicated. So either that's a problem with medication or a benefit to medication, or at least just a side effect. It is something I'm concerned about. Alright, I'm going to stop wasting film. Shit. I don't want no commercial playing in the background. And I had something and I lost it. Take your pain, just anything that even bothers you or irritates you, anything that makes you uncomfortable, and set that aside and see what's left. Is it you or not? That's what I've been asking myself. And I don't know. It's very stony, it's very deep, but I don't know what to think about it. I've seen a social worker and never quite got on this topic. And have not really gotten that in depth with it with my friends. Okay, I appear to be in the depression stage. Making myself weep over that last one. I think it's a good one, but I don't know if I should be bawling about it. So I kind of think there's something in my eyes that wants out. The pressure, the fluid, or something. Because that didn't need to be depressing, what I just recorded. But I sat back and just, went into, oh, woe is me. Woe is me mode. I don't need to go there. I've been there long enough. And that's where the superhero shit starts to come up. Just gotta rise above it, as it were. Not to quote that song, or not to be wordy by saying as it were. So some of the self-analysis can be funny. It has been in my journal. And hopefully it will be on camera. And since I can't think of anything, I'm going to shut it off. Okay, to be honest, this is a part of the stony part I'm not really into. Kind of dumb. But still, my thoughts are calm. And they can wander around, but they don't stay anywhere. It is a floaty feeling. You can't focus on much. I'm surprised I can film this. Want to do more superhero shit. Trying to exercise, do my stance. So I should at least sit like a superhero too. I don't know. Well, I guess this will just be random thoughts. Okay, that last one I was supposed to be talking about the pain, but it went wispy. And it's actually kind of nice that it went wispy, but I wanted to talk about it. It's at this stage where I can feel it focused up on the upper right chunk of my head. And it's very focused on those 2 points. Sometimes at the ear, but mostly at those 2 points. But it's kind of like I can push it away. And that's the first time I've taken credit for that. It kind of feels like a cross between Atlas holding the world on his shoulders, but not the world, the pain. But he's using the center of my head as a brace to push it away. So, gotta take some good with the bad. Or vice versa. The other analogy is Sisyphus, which honestly would not have remembered if I didn't remember seeing it on that stupid comedy show. Andy Dick compared Star Wars to Sisyphus. And I was kind of curious as to why he would think that. And Sisyphus, I forget what his crime was, but his punishment in Hades was to push a boulder up a hill all day long, only to when he takes a break to watch it roll back down the bottom of the hill. And to do that over and over and over for eternity. And so it's a cross between Atlas and Sisyphus that pushes the pain away. Again, it still really hurts at those 2 points, and sometimes it goes through the ear. That's fucking annoying. But But this is what medical cannabis has done for me. To be honest, I don't know what makes it medical versus any other cannabis other than my intent. Also, since I'm using the one that was rejected as male to be less super stony. I don't know if any of this is going to make sense. Sorry for the weird angle. But eventually I would like to have a better setup, and maybe later I'll show you my superhero stance. Alright. Okay, almost forgot, but I remembered when I came in from going outside earlier. You can really smell the muffins, and it's embarrassing. Yes, the orange cranberry covers up a lot of it, but you can still smell the weed, and it's just embarrassing. But you know, I don't know. That was something I wanted to comment on earlier. Just still suffering the shyness of it all. Gotta get my superhero on. Well, it's about this point where I decide maybe I could at least lay down and try to sleep. It never really happens. I stop breathing when I go to sleep, so that's why I want my CPAP. But I'm going to give it a shot. It is a little bit restful, but it is not sleep. It is far from sleep. So, wham wham, bitch bitch. I laid down for a while and might have even gotten some rest. And then Ed came over, played some cards. Went out to eat, played some more cards, watched some Star Trek with a neighbor. And now I'm just sitting here tired and blah 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 like everything else. Still reasonably medicated. No need for another muffin, but probably tomorrow morning. I still feel the connections of pain on the head, but they can still they're still being pushed away. And of course I'm still a little dopey, but the pain is manageable. So that's my update. Maybe later. Okay, last night was a typical night for sleep for me, which meant that I tossed and turned if I was too cold or I was too hot. I only got 2 degrees, 79, 80, and 81. That's my range, where I'm comfortable. So I tossed and turned most of the night last night. This morning it just got too hot, even with the fan on, and so I'm up again. The sun's coming up. I'm about to have a second muffin. I am in need of it. It's been about 24 hours, and apparently the black Twizzlers that I was hoping I would enjoy did not enjoy me. So they're rumbling through my guts right now, and I'm about to have my second muffin with a cup of green tea. So a new day begins. Okay, sometimes with the cannabis, or with vitamin C, or with lots of other things that can shake phlegm loose, I can cough up some nasty phlegm balls. And there's a minor example. You can't really see it too clear, and you probably don't want to. But it happens a lot. I don't know if it's allergies or just shit I gotta cough up, but it happens a lot. So, minor side effect, you just cough and hack it up, and frankly, that's way better than the side effects I've had from any other medication. that and this is much more enjoyable. Not that it's fun, but it's more creative. I don't know how else to explain it. Oops, I didn't turn that off. I just turned that off. Okay. Okay, maybe standing with my back to the light will be okay. It's still kind of weird. I can't see my face, so you probably can't either. After my second muffin of the batch that I started, I'm doing okay. I'm really enjoying music again. Although somewhat sarcastically, and I can feel a little bit of depression coming on, and I'm going to see if I can stave it off and just keep reminding myself I don't need to think like that. And maybe that's just fucking stupid. Does anyone ever think like that? I don't know. Is it gonna work for me? Sometimes it does, so maybe it'll work for someone else. Signing out again. See, I keep wanting to tear up. I don't understand why. I'm not fucking depressed. But I'll think these sad thoughts. I'm like, well, fuck that. Let's try to think of something funny. Boy, do I have dark circles under my eyes. That's not funny. Let's keep me in the dark. I don't know. I gotta think of something funny. So, not right now, I guess. Okay, still fairly medicated. But like a superhero, I was able to go out with my neighbor and go have breakfast with some fellow free thinkers. And it was really enjoyable. I couldn't really participate much with a deaf ear, not being able to hear too many people. But this kind woman sitting next to me kept filling me in on, summarizing what's going on. And that was probably one of the coolest things anyone's ever done for me. I mean, that was really cool. I did end up being able to hear them because the crowd kind of died down. But it was just cool. And then, me and my brother/neighbor just had a good time. We balanced out, our deal here, and I'm having a good time. So, it's not very super heroic, but I'm trying to make the best of what I got. And I'm not doing half bad a job, I think. So maybe it'll be a confidence builder. My superhero origin story. Which really begins with meeting Julie. But I'm sure I'll cover that later. Something else I want to cover is like an introduction video where I'll set it up to where I'm like actually even with the damn screen instead of just frickin' lazy like this. Yeah, more to think about.